women's basketball. Coach, opening statement from this past week, and then followed by some questions and looking ahead.
Yeah, it's good to see everybody here today. We're in week 6 of Big Sky play, and it feels like it's flying by. We have 3 games left at home, 5 on the road left of conference play. We enter this month of February. It's a big month for us because that's always that final prep month before March, and March Madness before that comes. But reflecting a little bit, I guess on this past week, we played Idaho with our District 6 game, had almost 3,000 people in the stands, which was awesome. Great team, great game with Idaho. It was tied going into the fourth quarter, 42-42. And unfortunately, we're not able to get across the finish line with the win. But a lot to take away. We talked about it a lot as a team of, if you want to do something special, you got to beat the top of the teams in the conference. And that's our goal right now. We still have one more shot at Idaho at their place, but it was a great opportunity in front of us, an opportunity we felt like we missed out on by having them here at our home court. Ultimately didn't shoot the ball well enough, put enough points on the board. I thought schematically from the defensive side we were pretty locked in and stayed to the game plan for what we wanted there. But great game, great environment. Really appreciate everybody that helped out with setting that event up. And then quick turnaround. That next morning we flew to Spokane, and Saturday had a game against Eastern Washington, and another really solid team in our league. Very well coached with Coach Jody Gleason over there. And for the most part had the lead most of the game. Relinquished that lead in the fourth quarter. I think there's like 4 minutes left. Maybe we were down by 3. Went on a little run to end it. And all throughout the game, I think there were moments that we look at starting. The way we started, I thought was really good, disruptive. I think they had 8 turnovers. We forced 8 turnovers in the first quarter, and it felt like we should have had 25 points on the board, but we only had 15. So just areas of we got shots up. We needed to shoot the ball better. We did turn them over. And then going into that fourth quarter stretch, there was just moments, whether it was Nina George, Heather Bayman stepped up, and I think she scored maybe 8 straight points or so in a row. That really allowed us to kind of break free and get it to a 3-point, 4-point game. Then it became, maybe 5. So I think, Tatum West had some really big moments, I thought, for us in the second half too. So a lot of credit to our players just to find, we don't care who it is, but to find the ones that will step up in those moments that really want the ball and can put the ball in the hole for us. So great road win for us at Eastern Washington. And then, this week as we get ready for our final home stretch, that's in front of us, our prep. Today's a big prep day for us.
Coach, going back to the month of January, your team finished 7-3 in the month. Anything you'd like to talk about? What made that month so successful? What did you see was consistent throughout the entire month? Anything you can touch on that?
I would say, we're still growing as a team. So we did have some success. We have won, but we also really need to beat the top teams in the league. I think that becomes our challenge right now. Is we are literally a few possessions away from some of that happening, and so positives are just seeing the different players step up. The first half of conference play. We have a lot of sophomores out there, so they're young. They haven't been in a lot of these moments, and they're contributing quite a bit for us. It's great to see Tatum West and the consistency that she's provided for us as well. Gabby Fields, who just always gives us a senior leadership out there on the court. So I think what we take away is just the Big Sky Conference experience. And if you're new, you don't know who you're going against till you play them. Now the second time around, the secret's out. I can talk about somebody's point guard, and our players can now remember who they win against. But it also gets tougher in that second round too. So I think a lot of positives to take away, but also I would say we did our job, and now you have to elevate what you're doing and how you're doing it, because it's just going to get tougher.
Coach, you touched on the defensive side a little bit. The team is currently ranked number 4 in the nation for offensive. The team's currently ranked number 4 in the nation for bench points. Can you kind of talk about the depth of this team? It's been a conversation throughout the season, but how important is it to have, good offense off the bench day in and day out?
Sure. We don't know whose night it's going to be. But we have a starting 5, and then we have a couple off the bench, and, the 2 primary that have really stepped up offensively is Anaya Hall, who's a veteran in this league, and then Heather Bayman, who's stepping up as well. And I start even with Heather as just a student of the game, studies the game, always in the gym. And Anaya is just a force to be reckoned with in the paint as well. And then we have other players that have stepped up. You know, Claire Frazier has given us some good minutes. Ruthie has given us some good minutes at the post spot. So every night it feels like it's somebody new. I don't always know who that's going to be. You know, Lila Moore, has come back, and every game is looking better and better to us from an injury that she had. So the depth allows you to, continue to pack the punch, and I think that's ultimately what we're trying to do.
And last question here, Coach. 9-3 on the year at Bank of Colorado Arena. Going into this final homestand with the game later in February, what's the advantage playing at the Bank for the Bears? What has been the success there and home court advantage?
I think there's just a comfort, as we always say. There's no place like home. The fans in the stands, when you go on the road, they're not calling your name, they're not cheering for you, whether you do good or bad, right? And so we want that home court feel and that advantage. We love the size of our arena, and it's a great arena for us. We pick up, we press. It's a little shooter's gym too, so if you can shoot that basketball, it's a great spot to shoot it in. So I just think at this point we really rely heavily on our fan base to help create that, what we would say like a fourth quarter advantage for us as we get deeper into the season. And it might be a grind out game or a possession by possession, as it was the other night here with Idaho. So we're relying on the students, and I hope we can continue to get students to come out and just our normal fans that, really help us set the tone.
And last thing here, Coach, we touched on the upcoming events. Thursday marks the pink night for the team. Any special message or anything that game brings to the team or extra?
I think for us, there is the Play for K game, Coach K. Yao, that was at NC State. And really for us, it represents anybody, really, but from the female side of any type of cancer, that, we're using this game to, one, bring honor to survivors and people that have battled through, and maybe the ones that haven't been able to, of just acknowledging that we want to bring an awareness to it and education to it. Our players understand that too. We will continue to talk about that as we go through this game, or as we prep for this game on the court. It's not just wearing a pink jersey, but we all have family and loved ones that have been affected by it. We've all been affected by it. And so we continue to want to support that area with cancer research and funding and things like that. And that is our goal. Is I'm going to step into that locker room, and everybody has had probably somebody, and that's what this month represents for us, on the women's side.